Hello, and welcome back to Factorio. Oh, we got speed module 2s. Okay. Today was black science. Red science is still not happening because we don't have fluid yet. We can't do the light oil barrel or the water barrel. But black science we can do. And this is going to be interesting because it's 7 inputs, 7 solid inputs, and 1 fluid input, which means that if we look at here, this design works for 6 inputs plus 1 fluid. This design is just 7 uh, solid inputs. So we kind of need to combine the two. I could just redo this design with the pipes running along the side. I don't want to though. I'm gonna create a new design for black science. And I'm gonna do, it's gonna be similar to this. I mean, there's only so many ways you can get this many things in here. But we're gonna have, the black science is gonna have 2 belts in the middle on each side. So I'm gonna do 2 belts. And then, what am I saying? If I do 2 belts going up this way, then I get 4 ingredients off. And then I do 1 in the middle, which is 2. I need 8 though. Okay, I need to actually consider this a little bit. I could do 2 in the middle, but I'm trying not to have them spaced out that much. Now, how many do I actually need here? If we're doing the 1 per second, crafting time is 10, but you produce 2 per recipe instead of 1. So effectively, it's 1 every 5. It's going to be the same as a red science. We're going to want 10 machines making it. There's a number of ways that we could do this. First, let's... Did I just break everything that goes this way? I sure did. Okay, we'll do that. First, we will do this. We'll figure this out, the power pole placement afterwards. Something like that. Okay. That works for now, until we get better power poles. Okay, I probably should have cleared this forest. Well, that's a thing for me to do off camera once I've got the first couple of these set up, maybe. Or maybe I'll just do that and then restart the video. That's an option as well. Okay. Oh, inventory's full. Right, because I have way too much steel on me. Well, let's do that. Where's something I can dump steel into? Clear out some inventory. Or I could do something really crazy and actually do some video editing. So why don't I do that? I will be back once this forest is gone, because this is where we want this, right? I did say I want black science here. think that makes the most sense. Yeah, we'll get rid of the forest and I will be back in a moment. Alright, we are back. No more trees. Well, more trees still, but that is a good start. Two chests full of wood here as well, if we ever need 3,200 wood for whatever reason, plus what we have in our inventory. Lots of trees. Alright, so what we want to do is have our black science feeding out onto this. So the first question is, where does the steam come in? Probably we do this. Probably we do something like this. And just do a long-handed inserter. Which I guess means that we want it this length. And that way, we have the pipe coming in with the steam. And we can just output like that. So how do we get 7 inputs into this side? So I was considering doing something like this. Where we would just have them... Oh, DLC quest is doing its thing, okay. Something like this. Where we would just alternate which ones of these come in. I don't really like this design because it's not very compact. As you can see, like that's half of the distance we'd need. And then we also have this cliff in the way, which I can't deal with. I do not have cliff explosives, so I'd have to maneuver around that, which might be interesting. Seven, 8. Well, I mean, this will be a different belt challenge, so let's do it for the sake of variety. Mouse accuracy, not the best right now, apparently. Okay, there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we do have to have the double on either end of it. I did cut enough trees, okay. And this just happened to line up nicely. Is this... Can I even go long enough here? That's really not nice. Well, that's a problem for me in the future. We do have lots of space here, actually, because we're not actually using this space in the middle at all. Which is what I mean about this not being space efficient. So this is going to be a much easier pattern, I think, to use. Because now... we do something like that. Save a little bit of energy by using the not fast inserter. Alright, and that is 8 inputs on each of them. We can even do this nicely. Okay. So there are some nice things about this pattern. Alright, pipes are not belts. You get pushed around by the belts, then you don't keep a straight line. We'll keep a few of those trees for now, I guess. Okay, that should be good. Okay. That is exactly as far as they go, so I can just run. Nice. Sure, do that. So let's get the steam in first, and that should be the easiest one. We have coal here. Consume steam, that's not what we want, but boiler. Create steam. Probably just need the one. Okay. And we put our boiler like so. This was a little bit further away than it needed to be, I guess, but that's just how we set things up. And there we go, we have steam. And this only requires one steam, right? Yeah, one steam. So that should be more than enough for all of this. Alright, next is steel plate. Before we just go in order, actually, let's look at the components of each of these, because some of them are going to be things that can go together, like pipe to ground and iron chest. Both just require iron. Stupid amounts of iron. So we'll probably have those in the same spot. Programmable speaker and decider combinator are probably the same. Copper electric circuits. Copper electric circuits, iron plates and iron sticks. Okay, that's actually... Well, we do iron on one side, going one way, and then we have the iron also going the other way for the speakers, with the decider combinators combined with that. And that leaves offshore. Steel is just going to be its own thing. I don't think we're using that for anything else. Offshore pump and landmine. Offshore pump is iron and circuits. And then landmine is... Oh, that one is steel. Okay, so landmine will go with steel. And then that means offshore pump. I guess that can go with the speaker. That's copper, iron, and circuits. Okay. And then I guess that leaves the decider combinator as the odd one out, which is fine. So first line. Maybe something like this. How many of these do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Can I bring in things here? This cliff is a little bit in the way. Well, first... I guess it doesn't matter if I grab it off of this line instead of that line. That's fine. So that's about the height of our ingredients, is it? A little bit more arboricide here. Don't know if that's a real word or not, but I felt like saying it. Not herbicide for trees, is it? Seem like they'd be too big for herbicide. But they are plants. Okay, almost need another chest for wood storage. So we need 1 per second with our ingredients. That's the plan. So 1 per second. These are produced every half a second. So one machine, 2 of them are produced every half second. So one machine is more than sufficient here. So that means we actually need 1 per second. I'm just trying to calculate how many pipes we need to make, though. So if we just have one machine doing pipe to ground, that's fine, as long as we're getting... So I guess we completely ignore the science ratio and just look at this ratio. So we need 10 pipes every half a second, which would be 5 machines making pipes. That's probably more than we actually need. But we can do that. Let's actually just give ourselves a bit of extra space. Okay, so that is pipe and iron plate. This is just iron plate. Okay, there we go. I do have red circuits on me. We're actually going to put a stack inserter here. Grab some plastic. That's one way to use up some of that steel. 50 steel, it's nothing. Alright, so that's our first ingredient done. Now we also need iron chest, which is half a second. And we need 1 per second, so this is sufficient. Actually, let's just put this here. That barely works. Get another one of these. Alright, and that should be our first bit done. And I said I needed the 6-way splitter. Just put this here. Lots of practice with this thing at this point. Alright. And with this split 6 ways, that should be our first one done. Should we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that? Get ourselves our corner. Alright, next we want programmable speakers and offshore pumps. We already, with 1 line of iron, don't have enough iron just for this. Oh no. Never mind that this is the iron that's servicing everything else in the factory as well. That's fine. It'll back up and then it'll be fine. But we're going to be using this iron for the next step as well, so programmable speaker needs iron sticks and iron plates. Well, we can get that. There's a way to split this onto just the one side, right? Let me guess it would be something like this. Which is a little bit awkward because I kind of wanted the iron to be drawn from here as well. But we can just do that. That'll be fine. There we go. Iron sticks and iron plates. Copper cable and electronic circuits. That's why I cleared these trees. We can get a couple more lines, although that's going to be something. Let's do just do one line that contains both of these things. I don't think we need that much of either of these. There we go. Programmable speakers are 2 seconds. We need 1 per second. We do actually need 2 of these. Fine. And here, I guess I could also just do something like this. Output priority on the right. Copper. That's one way to split them. We only need one of these. Kind of wish these were on the opposite sides from where they are. So we will output it here. There we go. And it is just one of everything? No, it's a lot of everything. Why do these speakers require so many materials? Well, we have speakers. Accidentally rotated the belt there. Well, copper and circuits look like they're doing fine. The issue here is that I might not have accounted for how many, well, no, we're getting enough sticks. We're getting enough sticks, okay. So programmable speaker and offshore pump, I think it was, because it's iron and circuits. Or we could do cable and circuits. I think cable and circuits makes more sense. We already have the cable here. We already have cable and circuits here. Yeah. So in this case, decider combinators take half a second, so we just need the one. It was decider, right? Yes. Okay. There we go. Time for another inserter. Just craft a bunch of red circuits so I'm not having to wait on them. Alright, so we got another splitter here. Just offset it, that's fine. And just for the sake of variety, let's have it enter in a different spot. This will look a little bit different. Will it? It's going into the same splitter, it'll look the same. That's fine. Okay, that's another two done. I really need red belts. Well, we have a whole bunch of iron on this side, a bunch of iron ore, so I could just smelt more iron and have it come in this way. Because that's going to be the big problem. Needed more copper cable. Even with 2 of these, it might not be enough. See if we can get a backlog of copper cable going here. Signs point to no. I mean, it is cheap, rather than trying to be super cheap with this, I can just keep building it. Alright, that does it. Next... so we still need landmine and steel. And then the offshore pump is just whatever. So that means we want another line coming through, which is going to be steel and sulfur. Why is... It's not what I wanted you to do. I wanted that to stay going like that. And have that going through this way. Okay. We'll just do that. Needed this to be over by 1. Alright, we have steel and sulfur. Although, we also need coal. Four seconds for 2, so 2 of these. 2 seconds for 1, so we need 2 things producing those, potentially. But then 2 goes into 4. So we might be able to get away with just 1, but we'll do 2 anyway. Just to be safe. Okay, so there's our explosives. Sulfur and coal. Running out of belts again. Yeah, this is just going to be really awkward. Okay, time to get some more belts, which will put more demand on our iron. Belts and pipes. Inventory's full. That's fine. That's fine. Why am I going through here at all? I didn't want to be on this side because there's stuff in the way. It's fine. grounds on there I want to deal with. I can deal with those pretty soon though. Hmm. I could just do this. Clear up some inventory. Alright, we have explosives. Now we just need steel. Why does it always end up on the wrong side? There we go. 5 seconds apiece. I need 1 a second, but it produces 4 at a time, so mathematically 2 should satisfy that. This takes a long time to build, so yeah, that should be fine. And there's our landmines. The other thing we needed on this was just steel. Which is pretty easy to set up. We just do this. Output on steel. And there we go. We actually only need 5 outputs on this one, I think. This one's going in the middle. Okay, looks good. And now we're just missing offshore pump. Which is iron and circuits. And that's not going to work. I guess we've got to do it like this. We need half a second each. We need one of these a second. So really, should just need one doing gear, one doing pipe. This one we just need the circuits. And that should do it. Okay, and with this, that should be black science done. With woefully inadequate inputs. And I'll sort out the rest of this on my own. That's gonna be like a 20-second crafting time. 2. I guess we'll prioritize the progression. Alright, well this has gone on long enough, I think. I don't need to wait around for the first one to be done. It will be done. So we'll get the black science done. I will consider feeding more resources into this, maybe. I mean, it's backed up when it's at 1/5 capacity. Which, you know, you'd hope it would be. But I'll expand the rest of these belts out, and we'll see how this works out. And I'll probably show off the finished thing once we have fluid handling. But until then, there's not really much else to do here. So I will see you then.